Hello and welcome to the Integrity Sports Podcast. As always, we're powered by our friends at Harper's Tree and Stump Removal. If you have any tree removal needs, stump grinding, tree trimming, anything like that needs to be done, Harper's Tree and Stump Removal has you covered. They also do driveway work. They can build ponds or repair pond dams. They can now even do horizontal grindings of large wood debris piles. Give Keith a call at 229-314-2048 or at 229-938-2412. Harper's Tree and Stump Removal is the premier sponsor of the Integrity Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Integrity Sports Podcast, covering local sports in the Southwest Georgia area, creating content that is factual, positive, and informative, promoting efforts by athletes, coaches, and sports administrators. Now, here's your host, Tim Estes.
Hello again, and thank you for making the Integrity Sports Podcast a part of your weekly routine. We're excited today to have our guest, who is the new head football coach at Southland Academy, Coach Chance Jones. Thanks for joining me.
Yes, sir, Tim. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Coach, this has got to be a pretty exciting time for you and your family. I know you've been on the job for a few weeks, and knowing your dad a little bit, I know that you are familiar with the GIAA and what all that entails. Give me your thoughts, just your initial thoughts on beginning this new era in Southland Academy football.
Well, me and my family are definitely excited to be here in Americus. We're excited for me to not be driving back and forth like I've been doing the past few months. We're here, we're in our house, we're spending the night. So that's been key for the past week and a half, that I've been able to come home rather than to drive home, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But with just being at Southland, we're so excited about it. We're excited about the traditions that we hear about, and to be a part of them.
Chance, as you look back over your time as a player and as an assistant coach and as a head coach, give me your thoughts on the folks that may have been big influences to you, both as a player and as a coach. As a coach, I always took a little bit of different people that I coached under. Give me your philosophy and kind of who those folks are that influenced you.
Well, there's a bunch of them. The first one I'd have to mention is my dad. He was my head football coach at Westfield. He was there for 24 years. There were a few years when I was younger, I called him coach. So he definitely was the first coach that influenced me, and he still is today. He still helps me with a bunch of different things. But the first coach I worked under at Prince Avenue was Mark Faraba. Coach Faraba, he's one of the best. He's one of the best with developing character. He's one of the best with developing an offensive line. So I definitely learned a lot under him, from a man standpoint, from just being a coach day-to-day standpoint. He's been a big influence with me. While I was there at Prince, there was a man by the name of Richard Bell. He was the defense coordinator at Georgia in the early 90s. He was defensive coordinator at Air Force for about 10 years. When he came on with us, he was in his late 70s. And just from a scheme standpoint, I really learned a lot from Coach Bell and his defensive philosophy, which is a 3-4 type deal where you don't show anybody pre-snap type stuff. So that was a big deal to me. And then lastly, Coach Jeff Herron was the head coach at Prince while I was the offense coordinator there. The last 3 years I was there. And from an organizational standpoint, he helped me a lot. He gave me a lot of more responsibility than I'd had before with organizing practice, organizing scripts, and things like that. That really helped me become a head coach, because that's a lot of being a head coach is about organization.
Boy, Chance, I wasn't aware that you had coached under some legends like that. I knew about your dad, and he certainly had a great career over at Westfield. But the guys like Jeff Herron and Mark Faraba, boy, those are legends in this game at the high school level, aren't they?
I know it. It almost feels like I'm name dropping, but that's the first guys I worked under were those three men. So it was definitely a help.
We are talking with Chance Jones. He is the new head football coach at Southland Academy. Our program today is brought to you in part by Marty McDonald State Farm Insurance. They're located at 925 Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in Americus. You can give Marty a call at 928-3686, or you can find them on Facebook. They would love to sit down and discuss your insurance needs with you. Marty can even do the famous discount double check. That will make sure that you're getting all of the savings that are available to you. As always, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Chance, for those that may not know very much about you, tell us a little bit about your background. Things like, what did you do as a player? What position did you have? And then walk us through your journey as an assistant and a head coach. Let us know where all you've been.
Yes, sir. So I played at Westfield and Perry. I was a fullback and linebacker there, fullback and a wing T, linebacker in a 3-4. When I graduated Westfield, I went and played baseball at Berry. When I tore my UCL, I transferred out and then ended up at Georgia and spent the rest of my college career there. It's kind of funny. I actually went to dental school for a couple of years after that. During dental school, I figured out I needed to be a coach. That's what I wanted to do. So I transferred back to Georgia, and that's where I started as an assistant at Prince Avenue Christian in Bogart. My first year, I was still a student, so I was just helping. And then my second year there, I became the offensive coordinator. I was the offensive coordinator for 3 years under Coach Faraba, and then I was the offensive coordinator for 3 years under Coach Herring there. In 2016, I got the head job at Tatnall. I was at Tatnall for 4 years. And then I left and went to Stratford to go back under Coach Faraba. So I worked under Coach Faraba for 2 more years. And then I was the head coach the past 2 years at Stratford.
Chance, I want to fill you in on something. I think it was your first year at Tatnall. You guys came and played. I think it was the preseason scrimmage at Sly County.
Yes, sir.
And I do all the PA announcing for Sly County, and your dad sat right beside me in the press box that night. I probably learned more football that night than I have my entire career.
We brought a good team that year, and I could tell that Coach Alford really had it going the right direction, because the next year we came, it was a little bit different. It was a little bit tougher on both sides of the ball. So props to him for what he's doing there.
Coach Jones, Southland, my understanding is you're entering a new classification and a new region this year in the GIAA. Talk to us a little bit about your schedule, and who are some of those teams that are on your schedule this year that you're expecting to be a challenge? Yes,
sir. So we have dropped from AAA to AA. And it's probably a good thing for us, because we're one of the smallest schools in AAA now. Now we're on the upper tier in AA, and you know how that makes a difference in football. It's always bigger, faster, stronger. But we do still play a lot of AAA teams early. We open up with Deerfield, and then we play Westfield right after that, and we play Terrell and Brookwood and all those schools that Southland's traditionally played. But then as we get into the region, we will have a tough region. We'll have Robert Toombs. We'll have Trinity out of Dublin, and we'll have Southwest Georgia to play in. And I really think Southwest Georgia is probably the team to beat going in, maybe in the region and maybe even in AA, just with the guys they had coming back. I'm good friends grew up with Wes Williams, who's got 2 sons playing for Southwest Georgia. And I saw him the other day at Round Ball Roundup, and they're pretty big boys.
Absolutely. Today's show is also brought to you by our friends at the Fish House Restaurant and Seafood Center. They're located at 224 North Jackson Street. The owner, Mark Tyler, and his staff have been providing the freshest seafood to families in our area for many years. Whether it's fish, shrimp, or oysters in the Seafood Center, or a hot meal and a cold drink in their Fish House Restaurant next door, they can provide you a delicious meal tonight. Go by and see them, or give them a call at 924-5177. Chance, for all the Raider fans that are watching today, tell them what they can expect from a Chance Jones coach team in terms of what style of offense are they going to see, and what are your base defenses that they're going to see.
Yes, sir. Well, first, I hope they can expect a program that will make their sons better men, better fathers, and better husbands as they go forward. That's really one of the first things that we want to focus on. We want to focus on the whole person. What we really think is a better person is a better Southland football player. So that's really our focus to begin with. But as far as the X's and O's go, they'll expect a wing T base on offense. There's we're 20% out of the gun most years, but we're no huddle. We can change the pace. We can try to control the pace. But at the end of the day, we want to be able to run the ball. And so that's how we are offensively. Our defense will be run by Kevin Present, who's come over with me. And it's an even front base, and it's get 11 hats to the football.
Chance, you talk about Kevin coming over with you, and that leads me into my next question. Who all's on your staff, and tell me a little bit about their roles.
So what Kevin Present, well, he's going to be running the weight room. What he's been doing this summer is running the weight room, and he's also the defense coordinator. And then I also have, who's been there for a long time, Mike Shadows. He'll be running he does defensive backs and running backs, and I'll be doing the offensive line. Kevin does the defensive line when we go on defense, and I could do linebackers on defense. So that's kind of where we are. We have some young guys that are going to help us that are still in college that'll come over and give us some help. And then Friday nights, Dad's going to come be in the booth, so maybe you can sit by him again.
Absolutely. I look forward to talking to him. One of the guys that will be a big supporter of yours is Will Peterson. He's with a company called One Digital. One Digital Solutions resolves real issues for employees and your business by fusing together things like HR, financial services, retirement, and insurance. They do this by providing a personalized, tech-enabled solution that creates a stress-free work-life balance. Y'all contact our friend Will Peterson. His number is 229-347-6289. It's everything all in one. It's One Digital. Chance, as we get ready to wrap this up, every week the last question that I ask my guest is the same, and it's become a hit around here. There's people that want to know about your support network. We know that coaching can be a grind. And in the good times and bad times, there's got to be people behind the scenes that are lifting you up. Tell us who those folks are for Chance Jones.
So my wife, Caroline, so we've been married since 2018. She's obviously down here with me. She's definitely been a big support. And the big one we have is Dempsey Ruth. Dempsey Ruth is 15 months old. She's been a joy. She's, my reason for waking up a lot of times. She's something else for sure. So that's the two folks that are in my life every day supporting us. So there they are.
Nothing like those little ones when you've had a bad day to come in the door and give you that big smile, and that kind of makes everything better and puts it in perspective, doesn't it?
No doubt. She's been a game changer. She doesn't know whether we win or lose. She doesn't know what's happened at practice. She can't really even tell if I'm in a bad mood or not. She's just ready to run up to the door.
I hear you. Chance, it's been a joy to kind of get to know you and let you talk to these Raider fans and all of our audience. Thank you for being a part of this. Here's what I want you to do for me. As we get into the season, this program goes live during the football season. Scott Westbrook and I usually will do it from Roman Oven. Sometime during the season, we try to get each of our high school coaches to come by Roman Oven and make a 5-minute just blip on there. Assure me that you'll come by and do that one Thursday night after you do walkthroughs. But I can promise you we're going to be a friend of yours here on this show. And, man, we wish you the best of luck.
Absolutely. I'll be there, Tim.
It's been great to have Chance Jones with us. We want to thank you for watching the Integrity Sports Podcast. Our show is now reaching over 2,000 people per week, and we need to ask you a favor. Facebook is throwing a little bit of a wrinkle at us, and now you have to have 100 followers on Facebook to go live. We have a ton of folks that watch, but you've never had to hit the follow button on Facebook before. If you're watching this on Facebook today, please just hit the follow button so that in the next few weeks we can meet that and continue to be on Facebook. We are on several different platforms, YouTube and LinkedIn, and what used to be Twitter is now X. So You can catch us pretty much anywhere. We'd also like to encourage you to hit the subscribe button on YouTube. It's been a lot of fun. We hope you guys will go out and support Chance Jones and the Raiders this year. For my new friend, Chance Jones, I'm Tim Estes. Thanks for watching. So long, everybody.